We finally made it through all of Aether Revolt. All we have left to do is talk about the rest of the artifacts in the set not spoiled individually, and then our pre-release guide will be ready to go. In this video, we're talking all things robot, and if you missed previous episodes covering each of the colors individually, you can click the first link in the description, and it'll bring you to a handy-dandy playlist super easy. Alright, let's end this series with a bang, shall we? Augmenting Automaton is 1 mana for a 1/1 artifact creature construct. You can pay 1 of anything and 1 black, and it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That ability is some nice late game value for an otherwise subpar creature. 1/1s for 1 don't tend to be anything special unless they come with a powerful ability, and while this 2 mana pump isn't the craziest ability ever, it could be a filler card if you need another creature. Overall, not really impressed though. Barricade Breaker is 7 mana for a 5/7 Juggernaut with Improvise, and it attacks each combat if able. Well, that sure escalated quickly. I love this card. If you're going all in on an artifact sub-theme, this is the Juggernaut for you. Decrease its cost, and you're looking at one of the biggest beaters in the entire set. Sure, it has to attack each combat, but it's a 7/5. Are there times when you won't want to be attacking? Improvise is the only thing that makes this playable, and it makes it very playable. The Breaker is a great card, and the best part about early picking artifacts is that usually you can stay open and pivot colors really easily. The Breaker is great in any deck that runs artifacts. This is nice. Okay, it's time we talk about this thing. Consulate Dreadnought is 1 mana for a 7/11 vehicle with crew 6. 1 mana for a 7/11. This thing is grade A beefsteak. Holy butts, it's huge. Sure, it requires a large crew cost, and that's going to be formidable. But if you can make that work, oh baby, this is going to wreck everyone. The only time I'd be confident in drafting this is if I have a start your engines or a similar effect, because crewing this is difficult. I'm not sure where to land on this power level, but in my heart of hearts, I want to say it might be a trap. I'm conflicted, honestly. I love me some 7/11. Consulate Turret is 3 mana for an artifact. You can tap it and you get 1 energy. You can also tap it and pay 3 energy to deal 2 damage to target player. I'm sorry, I love the idea of generating energy on a stick. I really do, a lot. But this is so bothersome. And if you're generating that much energy, I hope that you have better uses for it. This is a tedious, slow card. I'm sorry if you like it, I am, but come on, it has no immediate board impact. 1 energy usually won't make or break the game, and spending 3 energy for 2 damage only to a player, that's so narrow. I'll pass big time here. Crackdown Construct is 4 mana for a 2/2 construct. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, the construct gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Alright, I'm sure you've already seen a billion comments about Crackdown Construct and its absurd combo synergy with Wandering Fumarole. You animate the Fumarole, then you can use its swap PT ability forever, granting the construct infinite power and toughness. Aether Revolt just seems to be the set that brings infinite combos to standard that no one paid attention to because they weren't spoiled individually. It's unbelievable. We have so many combos now. It's ridiculous. What is standard even going to look like now? Ugh. Daredevil Dragster is 3 mana for a 4/4 vehicle with crew 2. At the end of combat, if the Dragster attacked or blocked this combat, put a velocity counter on it. Then if it has 2 or more velocity counters on it, sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. I mean, this is a fine card. Velocity counters are relatively unique, and I do enjoy drawing cards when my creatures die. I just, would rather choose when it dies. It is cheap with a low crew cost, and a 4/4 is nothing to ignore, but I really hate that I have to sacrifice it after 2 stints in combat. Again, still supremely playable. I just have a feeling I won't want to lose it on the battlefield. Just shucks. Filigree Crawler is 4 mana for a 2/2 insect. When it dies, create a 1/1 Thopter token with flying. I'm going back and forth on whether this is anywhere near decent. 4 mana for a 2/2 is just bad, especially when it comes with nothing valuable. Sure, it dies and you get a 1/1 flyer, which is nice, but this is a lot of investment for a tiny bit of board state improvement. I don't think I'm a huge fan of the Crawler, but this is definitely one of those situations where I could just be wrong. Revolting the Crawler and getting something back is nice. I don't know. I reserve judgment here, but my gut instinct, it's not the best. Iron Tread Crusher is 4 mana for a 6/6 vehicle with crew 3. Straightforward, powerful, imposing. Yeah, this is everything I want out of a vehicle. This is your classic vehicle inclusion in any vehicle-based limited deck. Cheap to activate, 6/6 is hard to fight, it may not seem like much, but it'll be a wonderful filler vehicle for your deck if you're in that archetype. If not, make sure you have enough 3-power creatures to crew it. You don't want to use your entire team to move this thing, just no thanks. Mobile Garrison is 3 mana for a 3/4 vehicle with crew 2. Whenever it attacks, untap another target artifact or creature you control. Hey, it's a vigilance machine, I can get behind that. Not only can it basically grant vigilance to one of your other attacking creatures, but it can also untap the creature you use to crew it, helping you to also maintain a solid defensive board state if needed on the crackback. And at 3/4, it has a respectably sized body for combat. Mobile Garrison is a solid vehicle, fairly costed, great ability, going to be a decent inclusion in not only vehicle decks, but any deck looking for a generally strong creature. I'm a big fan of this. Night Market Guard is 3 mana for a 3/1 construct. It can block an additional creature each combat. Now this is an awkward card. It can block 2 creatures, but you know it's just going to die as soon as it does. We're talking about 1 toughness here, so the goal of the card is to take 2 creatures down with it. Being a 3/1 is usually aggressive, and 3 power can take down quite a few creatures in this format. Maybe multiple servos, who knows. I don't think the guard has what it takes to be a staple in this limited format, and I don't even think it'll be a priority pick just ever. But hey, you know, it could be worse, right, I guess? Prizefighter Construct is 5 mana for a 6/2. Ugh, no thank you, this is not good. If you're beyond desperate for a big creature, big crewer, or big artifact, I guess this technically fits the bill, but wow. Sure as heck hope you have something better to play. Big ol' pass for me. Reservoir Walker is 5 mana for a 3/3 construct. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and get 3 energy. This is obviously Peace Strider, and that's totally okay. I like it actually. 5 mana for a 3/3 is nothing to write home about, but you do get 3 life and 3 energy. If you're running a deck that can utilize the energy in a strong way, then this gains a decent amount of value. Without an energy outlet, it's an alright filler card, not the best artifact in the set by any means, as again, it is 5 mana, but it'll be a solid filler, help you catch up on life, get some energy. I like it for what it is. Servo Schematic is 2 mana for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 servo token. Now this is what I was waiting for! This is the Revolt sacrificial lamb we all deserve and need right now. It's basically a servo wellspring. Lots of Phyrexian throwbacks here. Anyways, the Schematic is amazing to sack to trigger Revolt if you can find enablers, and it can mana rock you for improvise very nicely. The Schematic is nothing else if not on theme for the set's mechanics. The only time I'll be drafting this, however, is when I have a strong presence in either improvise or Revolt. If you don't, then this card loses a lot of value. Make sure you have at least improvise on lock before playing this, because if you do, this is so good. Verdant Automaton is 2 mana for a 1/2 construct. You can pay 3 of anything and 1 green to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Another late game Automaton. The card's okay. Not great, but serviceable down the stretch when you can actually spam the ability for inevitability. Might actually end up breaking a board stalemate. It's alright, nothing I'd prioritize in draft though. Watchful Automaton and Welder Automaton are the 2 last artifacts we have to look at. I'm putting them both together because they're both underwhelming, but both have powerful abilities when you have the mana to abuse them. The Watchful Automaton at 3 mana for a 2/2 is but scrying repeatedly lets you get whatever you want over time. You can't ignore that. And Welder Automaton will end the game by itself if left unchecked with that ability. So again, we come full circle to the idea that the later the game is, the better these Automaton look. Welder could be dangerous late game in a board stall situation. Imagine being stuck against someone for 5 turns straight, then they drop this. My heart would sink. Savage beats as they dome you for a couple points each turn. The torture. That's going to do it for the rest of the artifacts in Aether Revolt not spoiled individually. It's important to remember that artifacts are nice to target because they don't commit you to a color. When you're drafting, don't be afraid to keep your options open. We'll talk more about this in the draft guide, but artifacts on average will be less powerful to make up for the fact that they're so flexible mana-wise. So what do you all think? Do you believe in any of these artifacts? Which are your favorites? Do you see yourself prioritizing any of them? Love to hear what you're thinking. Also, be sure to keep checking the channel for our pre-release guide coming to you real soon. It's gonna be baller. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Aether Revolt pre-release is basically 2 days away at this point. How have you not pre-ordered the set yet, you so crazy? If you want to pre-order Aether Revolt boxes, TCG Player has your back. $91 each. Super cheap price considering a lot of stores are charging much more. If you don't have a local game store or your store is charging way too much, TCG Player is an economic haven. If you want to pre-order, click the link in the screen. Helps the channel. Win-win for everyone. Enjoy.